Welcome back to 12 Days of Christmas with Arubakes. This is one of my show-stopping desserts. It's a pavlova, but with a festive twist. It's decorated like a wreath. It's looking beautiful. It is looking so festive. You guys, oh my gosh, you have to make this. First things first, get your oven preheating to 150 degrees Celsius. While that's preheating, let's separate our egg whites from our egg yolks. For this, you need 3 bowls. One that you are going to collect the egg whites in, one for the egg yolks, and in the other one, we're going to break the eggs into this to separate out the white and the yolk, just in case a little bit of yolk gets into this, you don't end up ruining your whole batch of egg whites. I always find it easier to use a knife to crack the egg because you get a very clean, sharp split then, rather than if you tap it on the table or the side of the dish. Carefully crack your egg and then just let as much of the egg whites drip like that. Slowly drop it onto the other shell while letting the egg whites drop in between. Just be careful to do this gently, because if the yolk cracks and falls in that, then we can't use the egg whites for the meringue. So put the yolk into one and then pour this egg white into the other bowl. Alternatively, you can crack the full egg in like this into the bowl and then fish out the This is why we crack the eggs into a separate bowl, because now this egg white can't be used because it's got some yolks in it. So tip that out. Make sure there's no yolks left in that. If you're worried, give it a wash and then wipe it and then crack another egg into this. If you're not confident about using the 2 eggshells to separate out the yolks, try this method. I know I failed the last round, but I'll show you how it's done. So crack your egg into a bowl and then just use your fingers and fish out the yolk like that. That's it. And then you have a clean egg white. Make sure that both your bowl and your whisk are very well washed and clean. You don't want any oil residue left on either of these from whenever you used it last for a cake or whatever it is, because then your egg whites won't whip up to be those like cloud-like meringue. So wash it very well with some hot water and then dry it completely and let it cool down before you use it. So to the bowl of your stand mixer, add in your egg whites and then get that whipping on maybe a medium speed to start with, just until your egg whites get nice and frothy. Once your egg whites have started becoming frothy like this, then we can start adding in the sugar. Do this maybe 1 tablespoon at a time. Just sprinkle it in like this and then let that completely whisk in and let the sugar dissolve before adding the next round. It takes a little bit of time to whisk up the meringue like this, because you have to watch out and make sure the sugar dissolves before adding in the next round. Just be patient and it'll all come together beautifully. We are almost done adding all of the sugar. The meringue is now starting to look thick and glossy. So now you can add the sugar in a little bit quicker. You don't have to pace it out as much as we did earlier. And then let that whip for another maybe 5 to 7 minutes, just until all of the sugar has dissolved into this. So this has been whipping for about 5 minutes now. Just check on it by touching it like this. If you still feel a bit of the sugar granules between your fingers, then it needs to whip a little bit longer. We're almost at the end of whipping this now. So I'm going to make a little slurry of corn flour, white vinegar, and some vanilla bean paste. Give that a little mix. just to make it almost like a little paste that we can add in. This is what's gonna give your meringue that chewy, gooey center and that crispy outside. Okay, so now that's nicely mixed through. Let's add this in for the last sort of minute or so of whisking. Perfect, that's nice. There's no granules of sugar that you can feel between the fingers. Beautiful. It tastes really nice too. Okay, do you guys know how to check if your meringue is really, really ready? Okay, let me show you. Ready? That is how you check if your meringue is ready. If you are not covered in meringue, you are good to go. Nice. So that's what we're looking for, that kind of stiff peaks that holds its shape like this. Now that the meringue is ready, ooh, look at that. Oh, I'm so happy. All right, now that now that the meringue is ready, get your baking tray. We are going to dab just a little bit of the meringue on the baking tray just to help the baking paper stick to it so it doesn't move around. You won't have anything sliding off when you're taking it in and out the oven. None of that. Because it is Christmas and I want this to be a bit of a show-stopping centerpiece dessert, I'm going to do a little bit of a meringue wreath with this. So we are going to get a piping bag and pipe on the meringue into little rounds to then assemble into a wreath. So get yourself a piping bag. Now, if you have a bigger one than this, get a bigger one. I unfortunately have only this size, so I will have to refill this like a million times. Fold the edges over like this. Hold your piping bag in your hand and then spoon in the meringue. Don't overfill your bag, so about that much should be fine. The problem with meringue is it's so sticky. It doesn't slide down easily, so sorry, I'm making a mess. So much for 13 years of professional baking experience. Okay, let me just wipe my hands. Okay, snip off the end like that. And then twist the top, and then let's pipe these on. So I'm not piping this inner wreath on this because the sheet is quite small, so we'll do a whole bunch of rounds that we can then assemble, so it's almost like a pull apart wreath. Maybe that size, so then each person gets a nice size meringue bite. So try and pipe these as evenly as possible. We want one tray of like the same size ones. The next tray we'll do some smaller ones just as fillers. Okay, so that's perfect. Get yourself a spoon and then just put a little indent in each of these, just so that there is something for the whipped cream to sit on when we are decorating this. Just like that. Just push it down. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at that. Okay, these are ready for the oven now. Let me quickly pipe up the other tray as well, and we'll pop everything in the oven together. Both of our trays are now done. Reduce the oven down to 120 Celsius now. And then pop both your trays in. And then we're going to let that bake for about an hour or so, checking on it every now and then. Once it's done baking, turn the oven off and let the meringue dry out in the oven overnight. So now that our meringues are baked, they've dried out overnight, let's get the cream going for this beautiful dessert. Pour the whipping cream into the bowl of your stand mixer. Again, make sure that your stand mixer is washed and dried really well. And then just get that whisking on a medium speed. Add in a couple of tablespoons of sugar right at the start, just because we want to sweeten this cream just a little bit. And then just let that whisk away until it's nice and thick. Keep an eye on this because we don't want it to over whip. We want it just to be a smooth, thick whipped cream, not a very stiff one. This is the kind of consistency that we want. Our meringue has been sitting in the oven overnight for it to dry out. They're looking so beautiful. They've all dried out. The shell is really nice. I'm betting the inside is going to be all gooey and marshmallowy. Yay. Get yourself a nice large flat dish. It doesn't have to be round. Round will be nicer because we are arranging this in a nice wreath shape, but even square is fine. I have a turntable here. Let's get decorating. Start off with your larger meringue. So just lay them out, maybe just in a circle. This one's a little crumbly, but that's okay. We'll pop that in as well because all of this is getting covered in cream. Oh, that shell is like so soft but crunchy. Yum. Crispy, not crunchy. Okay, now we go in with the little ones just to fill in the gaps. This is the perfect pull apart little dessert. You don't have to worry about it being a mess because people can just take little things. The littler ones, you can just pop it in your mouth. It's also very similar to the, I don't know if you guys remember the little charcuterie wreath that we made earlier on in this series. It's similar to that. Let's just pop these around. They're looking so cute. Guys, this is already looking so cute. For the cream, I'm just going to spoon it on top. You can pipe this on top as well, but I think spooning might be a little bit easier. Similar to a lot of the other food I've made on this series, even the meringue can be made a few days in advance and stored in an airtight box, and then just whip up the cream just before you're ready to serve and then assemble this. You can even assemble this table side because it will be beautiful. So the amount of work that you have to do on the actual day is a lot less, which then helps you just spend a lot of time with your guests enjoying the party rather than kind of being stuck in the kitchen all evening cooking and assembling and all of that. Get your friends to help. Like, tell a couple of them to come in and help you whip up the cream, lay these out, get everyone involved. That's another fun way of not doing a lot of work on the day of the party. Okay, that's done. Now comes the super fun part. So I've got some raspberries, blueberries, and mint leaves here. You can go nuts. You can go in. Actually, I had some mango, but my husband ate it yesterday, so we have to do with just these. But the mango would have added some really nice yellow tones to this. So just start dotting your fruit here and there. So make sure that like every meringue has some kind of fruit in it so that when people are just picking this up, you don't end up just getting just some meringue and cream without any fruit. And then just, go to town. The best thing about all of this is it's meant to be fun, you guys. So you don't have to be super serious about it. You don't have to worry, oh, is this looking nice? Just have fun with it. And I promise you, when you're having fun, everyone you've invited will also have fun. It doesn't have to be like the best food or the best presentation. Always, it's about showing people a good time, making sure they feel welcome in your home. So I hope this series has helped you kind of do that. Just to do a few extra little bits here and there, just to bring in a little bit of festive joy and just to make people feel like they're part of your family. So we've gone in with our berries. Now let's go in with the mint leaves just to bring in a little bit of green, a little bit of, to make it feel more like it's a wreath. You know, the other fruit that would be very pretty on this, some peaches. Oh man, I wish Sen had not eaten those mangoes. Ugh. Look at it from all the angles. Make sure that it's looking full and colorful from every angle. Okay, it's looking cute. You know what I'm gonna do instead of the mango? I've got those dehydrated oranges that we made. Let's pop some of that onto this. Ha! See, I told you this is the perfect decoration for like everything from charcuterie tables to emergency decoration for desserts. Perfect. Okay, so just pop a few of these here and there. Maybe let's just cut it into like little wedges. And then just stick it here and there. Oh, that is so cute. All right, let's give it a go then. Just pick up one. Got some cream, got a raspberry. Oh my God. That meringue, it's a little crispy on the outside. It's so gooey and marshmallowy on the inside. And then that cream brings in a little lightness, and the fruit with the tang just cuts through the sweetness. Wow, it is amazing. And the best thing is that your guests can just pick at it. They can, as they're walking around, they can just pick at it. It's almost like a little charcuterie dessert, if I may. But yeah, you can just have a go at it like that. Little bite-sized pieces. It is a perfect thing to make this festive season. I hope you guys have been enjoying this mini series, Christmas with Arubakes. We've done some appetizers, we've done some drinks, we've done some main, we've got 2 desserts, and we have a few more episodes left to wrap this up. I hope you guys are having a great festive season. See you in the next one. Bye.